All right. Hello, everyone. Yes, I did actually hit the right one this time. Um,
Woohoo! Hello.
all right. Welcome to stream. We're Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I've only got Lemur today. Mana was unfortunately unavailable, so and because we skipped last stream, because like two of us had migraines, it was a whole deal. Tuesday was just bad juju, guys. Um, uh, so we're going to go on without him this time, and we are starting on Rise from the Ashes. We're going to do something really different this time because this case is a little weird. So originally, when this case was created, it was created after this whole trilogy was done. I believe it was done as like a little demo of, okay, let's see what we can do for the next set. So there's some extra technology and stuff in this one that we can do that we're not going to be able to do in later games, which is really stupid. It makes sense because it wasn't out in Japan at that point, but when it got brought over to America, they put it in where it logically is in the timeline, and that's now. So, because none of the characters are really going to come back from this, we're going to swap it all around, basically.
Yeah.
So, what we were originally going to do is sort of do this nice little shuffle thing, but because there's only two of us, I have given Lemur the choice whether she wants to do prosecution or defense, and Lemur has decided on defense, which means I will be... We're not going to go into trial today, so I'll be your support, which means I'll probably end up being judge. So yeah, and then we will do random rolls. I believe 1 through 10 should still work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 5 for each. Do you want low or high?
I'll go low.
All right. So, we have a random number generator. If it's 1 through 5, Lemur's going to take it. If it's 6 through 10, I'm going to take it, and we're just going to go with this. I'm actually kind of excited because I haven't gotten to do an accent yet. Except for Elmo.
God.
So yes, I hope you know we're going to have lots of Elmos now.
No.
Everyone's just going to be Elmo. Well, this is nice and ominous.
Oh my god. Complete tone and style shift from the previous stuff.
Yeah. Don't know what that was, but okay.
It kind of reminds me more of like a Bond opening. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
This is like a James Bond.
All right. Nick, you're up.
Whew. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial.
How are we paying rent?
That's a really good question. What? Okay. Again, buddy. I've had offers, but none I took.
Is Edgeworth paying rent at this point? How much did he pay us?
Until the day that girl showed up.
February 22nd, 10:02 a.m., Wright & Company Law Offices. Oh, I guess that's you this time. Sorry.
It's okay. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work.
I mean, mood, but...
Same.
There you are! Finally! Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow!
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. The famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. You're not Mia Fey, are you?
Oh, you called Mia Fey. I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey is no longer works here.
So, you are the coffee boy?
How dare you? I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney.
Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case?
Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though.
That's a relief then. You're better than nobody.
I mean, she's not wrong. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now.
But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? You've only had like 5 cases, but whatever.
Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere.
Please, I'm out of time.
But
please, you have to help. It's my sister.
Oh. Ah! Oh. Maya, could it be? Okay, I'll hear you out.
He really must miss Maya.
Yeah.
Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator.
Oh, I love her. Scientific investigator.
All right, let's talk to Emma.
Yeah. Emma, was it? You're a scientific investigator?
Yes, that's right. Is something wrong?
No. It's just, you seem kind of, jumpy, or maybe just young?
Young?
I want to talk.
I'll be 16 years old this year.
Oh, I see. Wait, only 16?
I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known. At my age, no less.
So what exactly is your current position then?
Well, legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader. But I'm ready to do my job. At my age, no less.
I love her so much. Great, another professional in training. So what's this about a case? Is it the trial tomorrow?
My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't.
Sorry. So, it's a murder case.
I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact.
That's not how facts work, man. And there's a witness.
Just talk to her. You have to talk to her.
Right. I suppose I will.
I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but...
That's interesting. How would she know Mia? So, you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up then?
Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know.
Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one.
I believe investigations should be done scientifically. Don't you?
Yeah. Sure can't fault her for lack of enthusiasm.
If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared.
Your sister.
I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done.
I'm looking forward to it. Guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister.
My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school.
So they went to the same school, huh?
She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And, well, I need one.
Incidentally, Mia is a woman.
Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's.
Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Huh?
Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her.
Hmm. Huh?
But she's my only family.
Your only family. What about your parents?
They died in a car accident when I was little.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, well, let's get down to the detention center.
February 22nd, detention center, visitors room. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. Maybe the fact that her sister is in jail. She got quite upset all of a sudden as soon as we arrived.
Time for our first roll. 9. You were low? I already forgot my numbers. All right. Guard, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors.
Can you switch my view, please?
Oh, sorry. What window is it? There we go. You want to play the guard really quick?
So sorry, ma'am. I just your sister.
No excuses. Or did you not want to raise this year?
Understood, ma'am. Whoa, what was that all about? Oh, Lord.
Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing? Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma.
Jesus.
Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? It's really weird having a conversation with myself. I haven't had to do that yet.
Hey! Oh, just scared the dog. How do you know me?
Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit.
I'm sorry. What exactly is it that you do?
My name is Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district.
You're a prosecutor? Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Emma, Lana, I mean, they're just like...
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I gotta go.
There's something you should know from the start.
Which is?
The suspect in this case has confessed to the crime.
Huh?
Wait! But the suspect is... me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright?
Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened?
The crime took place yesterday, February 21st, at 5:15 p.m.
The turnaround time for these trials is just super fast.
I know.
That's quite specific.
It was in the witness's deposition. A witness clearly saw me committing the crime.
My, that was a bit, bad luck, wasn't it?
The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car.
The prosecutor's office, huh? Okay. In your subordinate's car trunk? Classy.
I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed as it were.
Well, that's just great. So, who was the victim?
An investigator with the police department. I suppose sorry, I slipped into British there. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach.
By you.
Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal.
I see.
Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you?
Oh.
What? What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean?
Well, it means...
The police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so.
This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So you're the chief prosecutor?
That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities, in a nutshell.
That's an awfully large nutshell.
Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. Lana? What happened to your hand? Oh, this? I cut myself by accident. When I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose.
How am I supposed to defend this? I'm trying to change the subject. Wait, she was in class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her?
Emma told you that too, did she? Well, why not? I did track him all the way down here from his office. Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia.
Hey.
It was in law school. I was in my 3rd year, and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students.
Different?
She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything.
I had a crush on her.
That was probably why she was attracted to me.
No!
Lesbians.
Excuse me?
Intellectually attracted, Lana was top of her class in school.
I don't think so.
I was the best there was.
They gay. They gay for each other. Oh.
I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way.
I asked you. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Excuse me?
As you can plainly see, I am admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana!
She also very much didn't she skirted around being like, yes, I'm guilty.
Yeah. Why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. So how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana.
Sure.
Mr. Wright.
Yes.
I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest,
Goodbye.
I leave to you.
Okay, bye. Getting the end of the game. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense?
Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all. The case is over.
Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Alana has confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here. I'm going to have to find out what.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright.
Uh-huh. About what?
My sister. She's not always like that, you know.
I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again.
She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everybody liked her.
I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. Oh, what happened to her?
Um, I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she... Well, maybe not.
Sounds like there's something that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, shall we?
Okay. Anything to talk about? No.
Child with us.
We just have a thing for, taking teenagers.
Taking teen girls to
Mm-hmm.
crime scenes.
Uh-huh.
February 22nd, prosecutor's office underground parking lot. So this is the lot where it all happened.
Looks like they're still investigating.
Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this.
Hey, everyone! Keep up the good work.
Hey, what are you thinking?
Well, they are going to be my coworkers 3 years from now, after all. No harm in saying hello.
Actually, there is. You know, attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. I'm trying not to stand out too much here. See?
I think it's you, because I just took Lana.
Hey there. You expecting to go around unnoticed here, partner?
Partner? Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I almost went into a southern accent, but we're going for it, buddy.
Go it. You can do it.
What do we have here? Come on, this man. Looks like a Bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies. Keep them doggies tied down, partner.
Mr. Marshall.
My God, of course he's a marshal. Oh my God, Marshall looks more like the sheriff to me. Fucking shaven. Hi, Finn. Oh my God, hi. Looky here, Bambina. I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike, see?
Strike?
This is our claim to our territory, with a mother load of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want to?
Is that a threat?
What is this guy talking about? Oh Lord! Oh my God! You head along. Y'all head home now, okay? You head along home now. Happy trails, Bambinas. Is that a ombre friend of yours?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, he's a detective.
Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems.
Well, let's take a look around.
Yeah. What's this, a wallet? Excuse me, officer.
Wait! What are you doing, Mr. Wright?
What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police.
I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket.
Give it. How was that scientific? It sounds like theft to me.
All right, we got our wallet. I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay?
By the way her eyes are sparkling, I can tell she's been waiting for this.
Okay now. Look at the court record. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Now, let's start examining from every angle. Alright, so the cool stuff, I can rotate it, I can zoom in, I can zoom out. Oh, look!
Oh, yeah.
I think there might be a clue here. You should check it out with a press of the X button.
Oh, this is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID number 5842189.
See? Well, isn't scientific investigation useful?
I guess, though I don't see what science has to do with it.
Alright, we have his ID. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find.
I guess I've got to be on my toes from now on.
Look! A door! This must mean something.
I'm not sure the doors mean anything.
No! It won't open! A mysterious lock.
I failed to see what's mysterious about it.
Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more.
Let's finish our investigation first, shall we?
Alright. Aha! A ladder.
That's a step ladder.
What's the difference? In scientific terms, please.
Scientific, huh?
Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright.
This all seems to be so horribly familiar somehow.
Yeah, get rid of your narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works.
Hey, don't touch stuff. We don't need to be touching. No touchy.
I can't hear anything. My ears! No, my ears! Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure.
Oh my god, what is she babbling about?
Hey! What did you just say?
See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken.
This wall is in our way.
Got a faucet for water.
Wait, I know! This wall is merely a facade, hiding the truth. This is no wall, but a water tank.
I fail to see how it makes any difference either way. An oil drum. Looks like it was filled with water.
It's heavy. I can't even budge it.
The drum over here is on its side.
Wait, I know. I'll hide in here and do a stakeout.
I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested.
What? I'm not suspicious. This is where the cars leave the lot.
The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance.
What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit.
Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose.
Aha! The theory of relativity.
What?
I've got to write this down. Ah! Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know, was Mr. Relativity German, or was he British?
Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name? I love her.
Look, a stylish glass-walled room. Very nice.
You could see the whole parking lot from in there.
It says security. Perhaps it's a cafe?
Oh my god. Huh?
Cafe security. Yeah, that must be it. Let's check it out later.
I hate to break it to you, but I think it's probably just a security guard office.
You know, I scored a 97 on my science test the other day.
Congrats. Too bad they don't have a test for common sense.
Alright, well, wonder if there's anything else we can look at here. Because I am not seeing anything. Okay. Well, I don't know where we go. Do we need to talk to Lana again? Nope, she's not there. Do I need to examine? Oh. Actually, let's see how Charlie's doing.
Plant. Mia's plant Charlie. I've been taking care of him in Mia's absence, or Maya's absence. Ooh.
All right. Let's look at the court record.
A name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID 5842189.
I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs.
What else would they use?
Letters, silly. They're the reason we have a written language in the first place.
True.
Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID YABADAB. See? Wouldn't that be better?
YABADAB? Well, that does have a, certain ring to it.
Exactly my point.
Didn't take much to amuse her.
Alright, well, let's see if there's anything. Nope. Nothing on the back of it. Alright, well. I am at an impasse. Which means we must have missed something in the parking lot.
Yep.
Alright. I'll get there. We're just gonna go over things one by one.
What about that little hatch on the ground?
This?
Yeah. Nope.
Nothing.
Oh, wait, slide.
Slide?
Yeah, L1.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I was just looking at the controls at the bottom and I was like, wait a second.
I forgot this happens sometimes. Well, no time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I wonder what this is.
Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of going home quietly. That is correct. Oh, Lord. The sheriff. Like I said before, this here's our claim. You best be moseying along, unless you're fixing to bite the bullet. Yeah, scary.
Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car?
Well, little Billy's got a good nose on her. I mean, you want to know who rides that red Mustang with all the body in her saddle, eh?
Please!
What's the body? I got okay. I understand what This man is saying it took me a minute. No problem, partner. About time for fiddles anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor of the prospector's office. Might just find you a cerveza you like. Prospector's office? Who does this guy think he is? And when, for that matter?
Note to self, look up Vittles, Saloon, Cerveza.
Maybe we should check out room or 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. Oh, in any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like, just keep your paws off our plane. Right.
Great. Maybe there are some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. We have checked it out a lot. I assume this is someone new, so me or you, me or... 7 is me.
You.
Excuse me. Were you two all set? Us? Oh, completely wrong voice. Let me
Oh
get
my
into this.
god. What's this? She couldn't be.
You're selling lunches? Here? This is a crime scene. Hello. Half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir?
Yeah.
Some crunchy goodness coming at you.
We're doing business.
This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passers-by. Or are you officers? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone, even if my days as the cough-up queen are over.
The what now? The cough-up.
You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets. Secrets? Dear me, you are a slow one, aren't you?
How you?
I'm referring to the murder, the stabbing of that detective.
What?
A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about?
Please, cough-up queen, tell us what happened.
The name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels.
Yes, man. Yipes, she means it.
Somehow, I knew. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon.
Destiny. It was yesterday special for some reason?
You're a defense attorney, right? You should know then. You should know that the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. Evil ones? Prosecutors. They have no qualms at all about blackening the names of innocents. And yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday. I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence of this, evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find out why they call me the cough-up queen. Ew!
Oh.
The most heinous of all the evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really?
Really? What? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear. This lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. So, what exactly is that you witnessed, Miss Star?
It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Skye wield that knife so. Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. And the rhythmic beat of Lana Skye's knife.
Jesus. Wait a second. You know Lana Skye?
Of course. It's quite a feat, becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light.
Now, why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? She works here!
Yeah. Could we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Star? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the boxed lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No? Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tao's trilobite lunch set. Never mind. You win.
I don't even want to appreciate part of... Wait, I don't even want to appreciate part of a trilobite's flavor.
Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? See the security room over there?
The glass-walled booth.
I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him.
Aww. Since you're here anyway, I guess selling lunches is more important than romance. She's working!
So, to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Star, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here.
Useful analysis. What? Did you have a bad experience with the prosecutor, Miss Star? I sense some hostility.
Hostility? Perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kind of like 10-day-old clams in the chowder.
I wonder if Miss Star was involved with, in some part of legal trouble in the past.
That'd be a sure cause of food poisoning. Scientifically speaking, of course. I mean, now you're talking cough-up queen.
I thought she was just a lunch vendor. Now I'm not so sure.
Hi, miss. Here's my attorney's badge. A defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme lunchbox? Wow! It's really crunchy.
A box of pickles? Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me.
I love pickles. You take that back, Nick.
Yes, sir. I love pickles too. Homeboy is wrong.
Exactly.
Finn, sit down. Stop drooling on me. About this card.
Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards. Especially not a card. Especially not a card belonging to someone else.
No. This isn't a credit card. This is an ID card. It belongs to a detective. Belongs to a detective.
And you're showing this to me, the lunch lady. Why? That's like showing a fine honeyed ham to a detective.
Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked?
Because you are, Nick. Alright, let's go visit the High Prosecutor.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Oh my god. February 22nd. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really.
Oh, fuck you. Thanks.
Look! There's a trophy or something here.
Trophy? What? That shield?
It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. It's you.
Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice.
Hey, Edgeworth.
Yes! Long time no see, Edgeworth.
Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth!
You know him from somewhere?
Of course! I'm his biggest fan! My sister introduced us once, and...
Alright. Her sister is the chief prosecutor, after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you. I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk.
No! Did I... No. It was just Mr. Wright here. He...
Hey, don't blame me.
Well, we're just here to investigate a murder case.
Murder?
A body was found in this nasty, bright red sports car in the parking lot.
That would be my car. What of it?
I hate his smile there. What? Your car?
I'll say one thing. She certainly can scream. Why? Why do you gotta say that one thing? I forgot that was me. My iPad tried to run away.
No.
So the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? Why would we, after you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less?
No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean...
Wait. So you're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then?
Yes, sir. Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again.
Now that didn't sound forced at all. And now I remember. Now I remember. You've, really grown. I'll admit it, it was a surprise for me, too. To think that my own car would become a scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Anna Skye is the chief prosecutor, top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow.
You? Mr. Edgeworth?
To be honest, bit of a miracle I'm still here. And I'm still here. I hate talking. Why is it so hard? What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Oh, shit. Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. So that one time that he killed a guy.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy. People need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life. Impossible to stop.
But
Some of them even go as far to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's got to be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky? Yes, we first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case.
that's right. I remember.
2 years ago. I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken.
Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you.
Then why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? You got a good point. Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife.
What? What? Mr. Edgeworth? Your knife was the murder weapon?
To be specific, it was the knife I kept in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. You know, it probably would have been better if you just, locked your car.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Edgeworth's knife added to the court record. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Are you sure? Come on, can't you take a joke?
You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Hey, Edgeworth. Look at my attorney's badge.
I once dreamed of being a defense attorney a long time ago.
What? You wanted to be a defense attorney, Mr. Edgeworth?
Okay, this is the most reaction we've ever gotten out of our badge.
I know.
Yet my path is laid out clearly before me. I have no time to reflect on what might have been. Say, Edgeworth, I was wondering about this.
Mr. Wright?
Huh, what?
Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he?
I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth, but then my sister would be found guilty.
If she sighs any deeper, I'm going to start getting depressed. Here, a knife!
Yeah.
It's against my policy to discuss evidence with the defense. Especially with you.
He doesn't like you much, does he, Mr. Wright?
He loves me, it's fine. No, with Edgeworth, it's never personal. It's all about winning tomorrow. Maybe examine, yeah.
Let's take it. Let's poke around his office.
Let's look at his shit. I've been wondering, what the heck is this?
It has a big K on it.
Prosecutors. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy.
King of Prosecutors?
It's a great honor. They send the shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So that, hey, that's...
K stands for king?
Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing.
King of Prosecutors. Kind of like Employee of the Month, only better.
I love this girl so much.
Oh, looks like we can still talk about it. So that's the King of Prosecutors shield, huh?
Shut up about it. Well done, Edgeworth. You must be proud to be the King of Prosecutors.
Congratulations, King of Prosecutors.
Please stop saying that. That doesn't explain one thing. Why is the tip of his shield broken off?
I have a feeling we'll ask about it. Wow, this jacket is even lacier than his usual ones. You can't see it. Let me move my
I
head.
was thinking you. Oh hell yeah. That's fancy.
This must be his lucky trial jacket.
Lucky jacket, right?
I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in a frame. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture.
Oh my god. Just getting way too excited about this.
I love her. My. What an amazing bouquet. Just right for Mr. Edgeworth.
No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead. Wendy. Shit. Wendy. Heard that name somewhere before.
And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one.
What a nerd. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot.
Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Wendy? Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiance?
Ah! I don't think so.
Oh, come on, Edgeworth. Whoa! What a view! It must be nice to have an office on the 12th floor.
I guess you would feel important.
Incidentally, were you to jump out this window, the time until impact with the ground would be... Got it. Approximately 3.23 seconds.
Wow, thank you. I was curious about how long it would take me to die if I just yeeted myself out this window. And now I know. That's handy to know.
Ooh, cute! What a pretty tea set.
I go more for instant tea bags myself.
Amazing! The drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend! What an exquisitely splendid concoction. Let me try that again. Look at this royal blend! What an exquisitely splendid concoction.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. A work desk. It's quite tidy, as one might expect.
What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished.
Edgeworth is 100% just watching us just look around his office.
We're just like poking around. It's polished so well I can see my own reflection. Oh, I think we know who does the polishing.
Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe?
Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir.
No. Stealing. Don't. He'll see you.
Well, what a jerk.
Stealing.
Hey, a chessboard.
I'm not too up on my chest, but it looks like blue's in a bit of a tight spot.
The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn.
Huh?
Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. No, it's nothing.
Whoa! These are all case files? They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder.
Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights.
He must have someone get them for him. I wonder who.
Strange. Why I just pictured Detective Gumshoe.
He must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool.
You wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder.
Geez, Nick, don't be bitter. Mr. Edgeworth has such a comfy sofa.
Sofas like this make me want to curl up and take a nap.
I bet he pores over his case files here until the wee hours of the morning. Then he takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, and goes to sleep using his arms as a pillow.
I don't believe it. She's actually daydreaming about Edgeworth working.
I bet in the morning he has sofa hair and little creases from his cheek from the seams. He's so cool.
Sofa hair is cool?
I love you, Emma. Hey, Edgeworth.
So basically, this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? And take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty.
Huh? Why's that?
I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah.
I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken?
Doesn't matter. I've got more important things to worry about.
Oh. Right.
He doesn't seem too concerned about his award. For better or worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office.
Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday? Sure, let's chat.
Can you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office.
Cleaning day?
Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. Call it evidence transferal.
Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words.
Oh, and another thing. A ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. And that's when you got the shield? I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise.
People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright.
No, I place little faith in my memory.
Yeah, we already know you need therapy.
The only thing I trust is solid evidence.
Woo! Parking stub.
Edgeworth's parking stub added to the court record. This is the parking stub I got, or stub from the underground lot. The murder took place around 5:15.
So, the murder happened right after you got back.
What right? I'd appreciate it if you'd direct that suspicious glare somewhere else.
New person. You.
Me. Oh, Lord. Excuse me, but it's Mr. Edgeworth. Anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence against the chief prosecutor, Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Sky, sir. No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. None in this report, sir. I think I just heard Edward's lid blow.
Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it?
I made it clear I made a clear request to the police department. Did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, sir. I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you.
I love this man.
I wasn't aware of the particulars of your... Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right. Officer Meekins, take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month.
Aww.
Whimper. But sir, I didn't know. Poor guy. Looks like he was absent the day they gave out brains. And, good luck. Right. Yes, sir. God, you caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now.
Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright.
The victim was a detective from the same department as the patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to finally have calmed down, at least.
Alright, let's get out of there. Edgeworth is scary.
February 22nd, police department entrance. I like their little mascot.
We're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office?
Beats me. It took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. The police department, huh? I've only ever been to the criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what is that?
Look at him!
Cute.
Disturbing? Why does it undulate like that?
Oh, wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot.
Wow, Mr. Wright. You sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow.
Forget the Blue Badger. What's that next to him?
Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh,
Boy.
he noticed me.
He sure is running over here fast.
Oh, God. That's me. Hey, pal! What are you doing here?
That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there?
What? Well...
Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information.
Hey! I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yeah, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second?
Huh? Me?
Why is this little girl so peeved at me?
She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana's guy's sister.
Whoa! The chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's just, it's a sensitive issue with us these days. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs.
Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time?
What do you mean, this time? Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true. We've never had a chief prosecutor We've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you.
I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd?
So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall?
Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy.
A patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal!
Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this?
Huh? Hey, pal! This is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that. You have to turn it in to the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time.
Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his ID card a lot.
Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Goodman. Sounds familiar.
I feel like I died, dumb shit.
Nah, my mistake.
Oh.
But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa, now I remember! Bruce Goodman! He's the victim!
That's what I thought.
Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? Give me a second, I'm trying to get water.
Sorry. So, this ID card belonged to the victim?
He was a detective, like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sigh called him there to the parking lot.
And Lana's confessing as much.
Anything else? Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife. Huh. What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sigh to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have, someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth.
The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened?
We have to find out a little bit more about what's going on with Edgeworth.
I want to know what his take on this is. Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal! I got an award for diligence myself.
Ah.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten.
But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office.
Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors.
Do you have any more to talk about? Hey, do. He's in a tough spot again.
Again?
Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney, Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. But listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses, nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious.
I had no idea he was under the gun.
Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself.
What?
But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. Thanks, Detective. Anything good to examine? I was wondering about that. What? The Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece.
You made this, Detective Gumshoe?
The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the batteries die. Poor Blue Badger. fated to dance until he drops. And we added it to the court record.
Blue Badger panel added to the court record.
And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you.
Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? You met the guy who is, what's his name? The guy at the parking lot.
That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police.
Officer Marshall. Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something?
No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer from West LA.
For a moment there, I wasn't sure.
Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Yay!
I'm surprised if this gets us anywhere.
Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Well, we can try it.
Yeah. February 22nd, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop.
Hey, it's you.
Me. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby.
Oh, still here? Hello? Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too.
Oh my god. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene.
Hello, sir. I have this absolutely legit letter.
You mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters go to me. What? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe. Oh, that old cow dog. He's holding a birthday party or something.
What?
Huh? Look here. It should say letter of introduction. It says invitation. I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then.
Thank you, Officer Marshall.
Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me.
Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher?
Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to the Gold Strike. Be like the settler, strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny.
Note to self. Police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
I say I won't be doing this anymore.
Well, bye. Just crumpled it up.
Aw. Could keep that.
Well, let's chat with him.
Officer Marshall, can you tell us more about the victim? Too hard to keep up the accent. Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Can you be a little more specific?
Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right?
Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Starr. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. Sorry, itching my eyeball. Here is the autopsy report.
Alright, we got ourselves an autopsy report. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way?
Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all.
Nothing in common?
They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's a motive.
There's no motive.
Oh, there's no motive, thank you. I can't read. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor.
But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot?
So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? Calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy school detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really?
But you're a patrolman now. So how can you be in charge of a crime scene?
I think it's by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime.
That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least.
He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of his cow run by order of the chief of police. Just he doesn't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation?
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we should investigate.
Yeah. Let's just examine. Oops. Wrong button. Alright.
This looks like a cell phone?
Scientific analysis would suggest that this belonged to the victim. Can't think of anyone else it could belong to.
What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Right, let's check it out.
Alright. Man, what a boring strap.
What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know.
Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know.
I see the series is as popular as ever with the kids.
This phone's still on the redial screen.
Redial?
Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it.
I am as old as time. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation.
What? Whatever. Let's check this one out. Now to see who the phone. Wow. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last.
Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button.
Hey, that song, I know that. Hey, what's going on over there? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed the redial on their phone, didn't you? Well, yeah.
Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there.
Whose is it? It belongs to the chief prosecutor, Sky.
What? It's my sister's.
She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody, right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone, a wrong number. Oh my god, what a fucking idiot. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. She was calling you, you big, dumb, stupid dumb. Uh-oh. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman.
Alright, we have our cell phone. I love this outline. This rope, is it...
Yep, they laid it on the outline of the victim's body.
So, wait. The victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him.
You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. It appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock on the trunk is busted.
The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn.
Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. B block is through there. That's where the visitors park.
I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance.
Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak.
Doesn't that strike you as a little, creepy?
Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine.
Alright, well, I don't see anything else to investigate. Oh, nope. Yeah, we just looked at that. Unfortunately, I hit the wrong thing.
What's this? Looks like a note of some sort.
Look! Something's written on it. Please tell me we're not this stupid.
Right, let's see. 67S 12-2.
There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman.
Maybe he fell out of his pocket when he was killed.
Well, so? What does it mean, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Note to self. For deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright.
Rude. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either.
Alright, we got that in the court record. Alright, I think we gotta talk to, partner over here again. Hello, sir. This is my attorney's badge.
I see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star shining in the nighttime sky. I've been a beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of the night.
Note to self. Wow. Evildoers are weak against starlight.
Hey, that's a sheriff's badge. What's that? Some sort of police passport? This is Detective wow. Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance in this rat hole. If you want a distance, get yourself to Texas.
Texas?
Get yourself to Texas. A tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre?
Note to self. If you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros.
Alright, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're going to draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remind me never to visit Texas.
Alright, so apparently he didn't care about that.
Ah, toy shield suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knight, maybe?
Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth?
Nope. You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these.
Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it?
Hey, they could use the same shield over and over.
Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap.
You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. "5:12 p.m. The prospector's bright red steed came in at a trot, real slow like.
Trot?
He's exhausting. My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prosecutor was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. Ooh. So what you mean is the killer intended to use Edward's car all along.
Alright, he didn't care about the blue badger. Let's chat about... Nope. Didn't care about the autopsy report that he gave us. Oops.
Oh, so yeah, he handed it to us. Oh, shit.
Do we want to chat about my sister's cell phone?
Last time it was used was at 5:18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night. Why didn't Lana make that call?
Didn't care about that either. Okay. Is there anything left? Aha, we do have something to talk to you about. So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister.
That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edward himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences.
Officer Marshall.
Yes? Or yeah, Bambina?
How can you say that? You and my sister, you were...
There's something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about. I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicious. Oh my god, I ran out of beverage and so my throat is crazy. Well, now I have an eyelash in my eye and I'm just having so many problems and I'm so sorry. Like, oh my god. Fully in there. Oh, okay.
You can do it.
I think we're okay. We'll find out. Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years. For 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you.
But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them.
If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector, Lana Sky.
What? My sister?
Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What? You're saying Edgeworth is making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. That's why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case. Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth?
So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright?
I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, a cell phone.
So, you think we'll be okay?
Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it.
No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal.
Oh, by the way, Emma,
Yes?
I know that song your phone plays when it rings.
What?
It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids?
Huh?
Phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what you talked about?
She hung up right away.
I see. Detective is murdered, and a suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here.
Because we don't know anything.
I don't know jack shit.
All right, but we have made it to our to be continued, so we know that we are going to stop here for tonight. All right, we will be back on Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. I can't think of anything else. Hopefully, we now have Trial Former and Trial Ladder, so it looks like we will only get halfway through tomorrow's trial, or Tuesday's trial. That's going to start being a common theme, just as a heads up. We didn't have it in the first game, but yeah. All right, so we will be back then. Hopefully we've got Mana with us, and we'll have to juggle some of the roles then. I don't know how exactly we're going to do that, but we'll figure it out. That is a problem for Tuesday.
Yeah, that's Tuesday us's problem.
Exactly.
Thursday us needs to go to bed.
So we are going to go to bed. No, I think I need to too. So we will see you guys on Tuesday. Are you streaming Monday?
I should be, yes.
So for those of you who aren't aware, Lemur is back to streaming. You can see her on Wonder Lemur's channel Mondays at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, same as me. I will be there. We can just have a good old chat and watch her do smart. So hopefully I'll see you guys Monday, but if not, I will see you guys Tuesday. Be safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, do all of that shit, and we will be back next week. Have a good night.
Yeah. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.